And I really do believe in this moment, again, I don't believe God's like, let's send this pestilence. But I think he's going to use this moment to mercifully expose our prideful hearts. I think at the church, if we allow this to happen, we allow God to speak to us in this moment, he is mercifully exposing us. We've talked a lot about our church with secularism, and secularism has gotten more and more prideful, mainly because we have progressed so much technologically, and we've progressed so much economically, which again, a lot of that's kind of falling right now. But I think in this moment, it's exposing now more than ever that although we have advanced in technology and economically, we have dramatically regressed when it comes to relationships and emotional health. And this is kind of putting a spotlight on that. I think it's exposing, if you guys know, grow up in the secular narrative, it exposes the lie that we have believed that we will eventually reach a utopian society. Right? If we just put more medicine and more tech, we believe we will need less God. And actually, billionaires believe one day they're going to figure it out and they won't ever die. Well, that's not true. This is humbling us at our knees at this moment. And so here's the first point, all right? How does this pestilence make sense? How is God going to use this? We're not going to talk about, did God do this? What will God do with this? Number one, this pestilence makes sense if it strips us of our arrogance. Even as the church, right? It's really easy to say, okay, the world, they're so arrogant. No, let's start here and then go out. How will God use this moment to strip us of our arrogance? Church history actually uses this word attachment. And so one of the reasons why we're arrogant is because we're blinded to our vulnerabilities because our attachments distract us and make us feel more comfortable than we actually should be. I read this week to define attachments. Attachments are trust structures that give us the illusion of control. I was in Alaska this last summer, and we got to meet a couple Eskimos. And so they were talking different stories about what Eskimos would do and how they would hunt up in the Arctic. And one of them talked about how there was a block of wood, and they would actually screw a razor on it, and they'd put it down in the snow, and they would really pack it with snow, but then they would soak it with blood. And the point was actually it was a trap for wolves. So the wolves they apparently have incredible smell. So they would smell it from miles away, go and see this blood and know that there's something down there. So they would keep licking and licking and licking. Well, they're not, because the snow was so cold, by the time they got to the blade, they didn't even feel the blade. They just kept licking and licking, and eventually the wolf would collapse. Now, that's a brilliant way to win against a wolf. What is that Liam Neeson movie? Don't do it that way, right? And so, I need more laughter from you guys. I'm just kidding. No, so I thought that was so interesting. See, the attachments we have in our lives today, they are slowly but surely rotting our souls. And I do think in this moment, what if God is using this to rip those attachments away? To literally, like the block of wood, he is taking that block of wood. He is taking away our comforts to realize those things you think are helping you, but they're actually killing you. This quote is from James K.A. Smith. I thought it was good. Should be on the screen. Insofar as I keep choosing to try to find that satisfaction in finite created things, which right now God is taking away, whether it's sex or adoration or beauty or power, I'm going to be caught in a cycle where I'm more and more disappointed in those things and more dependent on those things. Isn't that fascinating? It brings us disappointment, but we still seem to want more. And what if God in his grace is allowing this moment to say, okay, I'm not going to let you depend on these things anymore. I'm ripping it out from underneath. Again, this could be a moment where God is actually being merciful because he's taking that block of wood out of the snow.